All right, I think we can go ahead and get started, folks. Welcome again to your weekly ProcessMaker live stream. My name is Ethan Pressberg, and I got with me Manuel Navarro. I hope I pronounced that right. He's been pretty much my co-host these days, so we've been doing this together, and looking forward to seeing the latest and greatest that he's. So, in case you don't know, Manuel is the man behind all the templates that you're seeing coming out for the spring release. So he's about to show us one of the many that he has created and walk us through it. And so, without any further intro, I'll pass it off to Manuel. Yep, and just like last time, we seem to have lost him again. Let me ping him. I don't know why this keeps happening. We thought we fixed it last time, but apparently we did not fix it yet. So hopefully this will work now that Manuel's back.
Yeah.
You need your screen share. Are you sharing your screen?
Sharing it in a minute. There it is. So here we are. We're creating a process based on a template in the new hire.
Hang on one second, Manuel. I'm getting some feedback that people cannot hear us. So let me just check on another system here and make sure that the audio is in fact working. Hang on one second. No, yeah, it is. It is working. So I think it's on another person's side. Okay, so I'm sorry about that. Please continue. Okay, hang on. Sorry to interrupt you again. I'm getting more feedback, and they're saying that they can hear me, but they cannot hear you. So
you can hear me.
I can hear you, yes, which is odd. Okay, let me just try changing this one setting, and I'm just gonna call my my friend here, M, who knows who she is. If she can just when I say, if you can just let me know when I change it. How about now? Manuel, try talking. Okay, try again.
Hello, can you hear me here? I can hear myself.
Well, yeah. Let me try on my other system again. Hang on. To anybody watching this, I am so sorry. This is so bad. This is just doesn't usually happen. Well, I can hear you on my phone. Let me. Oh, okay. They can only hear you when I enable my mic. That's so weird. Well, I can hear you on my phone. Let me. Okay, let's try this one more time.
Okay, let's.
I do not know why this is happening.
Okay, let's try this one more time.
Wait.
Oh,
Try? Dude, I don't know. I can hear you, and they cannot for some reason. And I reverted all the settings that we might have changed, so... let me see one more thing. Yes. Try again. No, that didn't work. I don't understand what happened here. It worked perfectly fine last time, I thought. How about now? No, I can't hear you now.
Can you hear me here?
Now I can. No, that didn't work. I can hear you. I don't. I'm trying to see here. Oh, I heard you that time. Okay, well, at least they hear you that way. um, so I got my mic open. If you can try, while I try and fix this. Well, so they can hear you now. Hello, can you hear me? How about now?
Can you hear me here?
Okay, try one more time. I'm muting myself. Okay. Let's hang on. I don't want to cancel this, but we might have to. Let's just see if we can get this working because I see people coming into the stream. Okay. Forgot that was on. I think I screwed the pooch here. Say something?
Here I am.
No, you're muted.
No, I'm
try
not
now.
muted. I'm not muted. But I can hear myself on the feedback.
Okay, it works now when I mute. I believe so. Let me just double check with our audience. I'm gonna go on mute now.
Okay. Great. Yes, I think it works. I think the last thing you did, it works.
Yes, I have confirmation that they can hear you now. I am so sorry, everybody. Let's get on with our regular scheduled show now. I am so sorry.
Perfect. So where we are at. So what I was trying to say, because I think nobody hears us. So for today, we have a template we call the new hire onboarding. Why we choose this template? Because this is a template that has various elements, different elements that are important for any kind of person who is gonna work in ProcessMaker. So basic features, basic elements that are ready to go for you to have a look on it, to use it as an example. And actually, this is one of those examples that are very wide or very cross industry, right? So anyone in our company, in the company, has this challenge, hire new people, how you get the onboarding, and this is a great process to show one of those processes that are general appealing, right? And the second option, and the second reason we choose this one, it was because it has a few elements that are important for you to notice when you are working with templates. So let's get started again. So how we can start this? We start with our templates always from the process tab right here in the designer. You have here the templates and the process. We know that we have a vendor onboarding template. Sorry, a new hire template, new hire onboarding template. Here it is, the new hire onboarding template. Sorry, I just picked the wrong one. New hire. Here it is. The first thing that I want you to notice is that you're gonna have a preview of the process in here. So you can zoom in, you can zoom out. You can have a look at the details before deploying this template within your instance, right? Gonna have the details in here, and you can click in here and use template, and then you can create a new process. I'm gonna name it as dot 4, and you're going to find the basic description in here, recommendations and good practices, and that would be our session today. Actually, it's going to be more like good practices and elements that are important for you to understand about the platform, and basic features that are important for be proficient within ProcessMaker. So let's select a category, and this is as well important. It helps you to organize all your processes, and definitely categories are going to be and more important while we get into more deep conversations on how ProcessMaker manages their information. A fourth element that is very important in here is a process manager. And why a process manager is important? Because process manager is going to receive notifications. Process manager is the person who is in charge of reassigning some of those tasks that are stuck in one step for a long time. So process manager is kind of a person who can do a lot of stuff within the platform. So that why this is very important to choose when you are working with templates. I'm just going to click on save, and the system is going to auto generate the template. Something really interesting on this, something really interesting is once you have deployed your template, you're going to find annotations specifying element that you have to keep an eye on to make it run, right? So if you want to run this template, yeah, this template has an email task in the middle. So you're gonna need to set up a default or to set up an email server, right? As we'll look at this one, we're gonna see how powerful ProcessMaker can be with a simple example of creating a user via script, right? And why do we choose this way to create a user? Because this is an example for developers and people who wants to know the details on the platform. So this is a great element that we will be seeing today. And look at this one as well, has an annotation that you have to keep an eye on. So all the templates has annotations. So in these annotations, you can definitely in these annotations you can see the details, and you can see what has to be configured to make it run, right? So the first element we see here is that you have to configure the email in order to make this run. So let's go for it. How we can configure an email in ProcessMaker? Just click here on admin, right? And then you're gonna find a tab that is called the settings tab, right? And in the settings, here you're gonna find a tab where you can configure not just one email. Actually, you can put configure multiple emails, right? You can add as many mail servers as you need, and here and there you have all the different elements regarding the configuration of any kind of email, right? This is pretty simple. Look at this one. If I want to add an email server, here it is, email server number one. And if I refresh this screen, you're gonna see that the system automatically recognizes that there is another server. So I can actually configure multiple inboxes, right? Within the same instance, right? Real cool, isn't it? So this is great because you can have different processes with different email communications, and you're gonna keep independent views of the information that is coming and going from the system, right? So that was the first thing. Confirm that you have an email configured, right? And we have it. So here are the default settings I have in this one. I'm gonna test my email, right? And click on test and go. Email sent successfully. And I think I'm gonna hear it. Yes, I just hear it 1 second ago. So email check. Let's go for the second one. What is the second annotation in here? It says, please configure the run script as element with a valid user. So this is great. Why this is important? Here you have a script, right? So a script in ProcessMaker requires to be executed by a user, right? So a specific user has the permissions to run this, and the execution of those scripts are configured here in the scripts section, right? So I'm gonna open this one, the script module, right? And here I'm gonna have most of my scripts. Here I have create user on ProcessMaker, create user, my testing account. So you're gonna find a lot of things in here. So I'm just gonna click on configure for you guys to see this. This is really interesting. Here you have the configuration elements that are important in any um, script that you are trying to execute, right? Here you have who is going to run this. So you have to choose a user who has the permission to run a script, right? Which is the executor. Below the hood, what we have, it's a Docker containers that spin up and execute those scripting that you are creating within ProcessMaker. So here we can choose as many languages as we require. We can add .NET, C Sharp, Lambda, JavaScript. So there are a lot of languages in here that we can add. The description, definitely description will be here, and the timeout of any kind of script. You can enable this a direct API access to run this script asynchronously within the application. So this is just a glimpse of the configuration of this huge section of the platform, which is the script executor. And that's why we choose this specific, that's one of the reasons that we choose this template, because this template has those elements that are basic, but as well important for you to go on it, right? So once we have said that, once the email is configured, and now that we confirm that the script is going to be executed by the admin user, we can give it a run to have a look on how it looks this process, right? And then we can jump in and we can have a look on the details on how we build the process in terms of the screens, in terms of the emails, assignments, and so on. So we're going to walk through some of those options in a few minutes for you to have a look on the basic elements that you can do on a template such as this one. So let's get started. I'm going to open a new tab, right? And please join us in our Discord channel, right? So here you can find us. You can find us as well in the QR code that you're going to find it below left on the screen. and let's run this process. This
And
is
just on that note of the Discord server, I've seen a pretty big influx lately of people joining, which is awesome. And if you have any questions, that's a great place. I mean, obviously, there's no SLA to it because it's all community driven and stuff. But I personally try my best to help people out. It seems like a lot of people are struggling with Docker related things, so I'm always happy to help. But that is definitely a good resource if you're watching and you want to see where you can get help with some of the open source related stuff. Manuel came up with the genius idea of making it a QR code. So all you got to do is hit your phone and scan. You can get to the Discord community server. And with that, I'll pass back to Manuel.
Thank you, Ethan. Thank you very much. And look at this one. This is a nice and clean screen for you guys to start looking at Process Maker as well in the details. So how you can configure your own stuff. Look at this one. We are asking for. We have a specific section for for the information of the new hire. We have the confirmed position information, which is a specific section of this process. Look at this one. We have two options in here, two sections that you can hide and show based on visibility rules that are set up within those controls, and a submit button, right? So a single screen, but has the basic elements that we need to master. We're going to run the process first, and then we're going to open it, right? But I'm going to walk you through what you are seeing in the screen, and then we will jump on it, right? So I'm gonna add this here, Manuel Navarro, as in hire, department in here, so in product, right? Here I have adoption, right? I'm just gonna request for some provisioning step. Look at this one. This is one of those elements that are really interesting about the platform. You you are always changing disclaimers. You are always adding notes, attentions, things that but the software is always dynamic, right? You can't stay on the same screen for too much time because something is happening. If you don't see that the things are changing and you left your systems as they are, you're gonna get into problems sooner or later. And Process Maker is very flexible for you to do some changes. Look at this one. The new hire onboarding 3 years ago didn't have any kind of new COVID-19 on-site requirements. You can provision an office space, right? A few years ago, the remote work, yes, it was normal, but new hires and new people who was getting into the companies right now has different requirements than 2 years ago, right? So we need to adapt those changes within our systems. And Process Maker is very flexible on this. Provision office step, just adding a simple warning in red in your new hire onboarding, some clicks or elements to other processes. For example, here we have the COVID-19 application we built 2 years ago on the pandemic, where we did all the where we checked the symptoms daily for the people who was going to job. It was linked within this process, right? So it was pretty fast the way we create this one. Once most of us went to start um, into the as a home office, these things get more required, and we build the solutions in just a few weeks, and we answer to the market with this great application built 100% Process Maker. So have a look on this process, have a look on this screen, and look at this one, not just as simply punching information, as well to see how this can evolve pretty quickly with the time. So I'm going to provision some office space. Notes for Office Manager. I would love to be closer to a window. All of us would love to be closer to a window, right?
I
Provision
don't know,
items in the
Manuel.
front.
Personally, I prefer a Nile.
No, yeah. you know, it's aspirational for some people. It's just Note for IT manager, right? So here we need a laptop. and access to Salesforce, right? And definitely access to ProcessMaker, right? So I need access to my process platform, and I'm gonna click on submit. Just to remind you guys, we saw this in the previous session. All those templates are configured to be used by an admin user, right? So you're gonna open your instance, install the template, and it's gonna be ready to use because that's the user that is gonna be created. So admin can run all this process, and we're gonna see how we can as well how we can configure different users in a moment. And look at this one. We have our process, our new hire onboarding. If you click on task, we can see the two tasks that are pending, right? So the configure accounts and the assign office equipment. What does that mean? First of all, the email was sent previously. I should be receiving an email. Let me check on my inbox. Let me check on my inbox. Here it is. Here it is, my email. Exactly. Perfect. The email was sent, everything fine. And here I have the two tasks that are pending to execute. Remember this one, new hire information. We send the email, right? And then we have here two specific tasks. Which are those tasks that we have in here? We need to assign an office equipment for the new hire and to configure some accounts. And those are the two tasks that we have in here: assign office equipment and configure accounts. Let's have a look on this one. Let's start with this. Here you're gonna find the information um from this section, and look at this one. I am just seeing, and I am here seeing the different spaces available to assign to this new hire. This is interesting. This is a way we in the template we show that you can present the information, right? Not necessarily this is connected to a specific system or not. This is just an example for you guys to see which are those options, to see how you can manage or how you can interpret one of those processes and create um, a view or create an experience for your user, right? That's what we are looking for in this templates, to give you examples how this can use. And definitely, if you want to connect this with a system, this is going to work, right? Here we have a list with the different sections, right? So we just hard code these values, but you can integrate with your systems. We can go on this kind of adaptations in our different sections. But the idea here is to pick and choose one of those available options we have for Manuel in his new role. What do I have? Corner booth, L, sharp desk, standard chair. Here we have regular box, seat standard, desk manager, manager chair. Open first, come first, serve co-working area, desk chairs available, right? So sorry for Manuel, um he's not gonna have a window. He's gonna go for just the co-working area because he as well is gonna work at home, so he doesn't need an office. And if he need it, he's gonna work in here. So just assign him this one and submit. Look at this one. You have the options. You can start selecting those elements. Any task you're gonna find the pending task that we have. I'm gonna continue configuring the accounts. Configuring accounts. What are we looking at configuring accounts? Here we have employee information, the different onboarding notes, right? Look at this one. I need to give access. I need to support him with a laptop, with access to Salesforce, with access to ProcessMaker, right? So here, and look at this one. Here I have it. So I need to install it for Salesforce. I need to add in as well to the calendar. No more systems. No, I can add here Manuel Navarro and sending this password to the next task, right? So why do we choose this specific task or why do we choose this specific step in this template? Because here you have an option to start the onboarding for your new hires into their systems, right? ProcessMaker can integrate with any platform that has APIs available. And if it doesn't have APIs available, we have options to go for it. But mostly with RPA, with APA accesses, we can create and we can communicate with different systems such as Salesforce, such as an email. So actually using those APIs, we can create users, and we have done it in the past, creating this onboarding we have creating these onboarding processes where we capture the different information from an employee, and we actually create the different accounts and different accesses to the system that are required. So this is a real screen of a real of a real onboarding process to configure IT accounts within a company, right? So here I can click on submit and continue with the process. Look at this one, just to continue with that idea of configuring your accounts. This is the next step of the configuring accounts. What we usually do in here after you configure the accounts is actually going through those systems and create that users, right? So here we are, look at this one. We are sending some status of the onboarding of Manuel, and then I will have to continue with the next task, which is the next task in here. We need to approve the development plan for Manuel. So if we click here on the task and I refresh it, let's see where it goes. Here we have it, the new hire onboarding. Let's click on our request and let's see which are those tasks that has been executed. Look at this one. We already have assigned office equipment to configure some accounts. System has sent a notification for update onboarding status. This is the previous task that we just execute. Here it is, right? And here we have to complete the onboarding status task, which is, sorry, I has completed task update onboarding status. Here you are. Here you have.
Just if I can add on that note, Manuel,
Yes.
the audit trail that we're seeing there, you know, from going from task to task, just a little sneak peek ahead of time. We're on our next release, our summer release, we're going to be adding some really interesting features, and one of them is going to be an enhanced. I forget what we're calling it because it's still in development. No, that too, but I was actually talking about what the analytics team is working on with regards to security logs and getting that. If you're a PM3 user, you're very familiar probably with the audit history we have in PM3, and so we're going to be doing a better job, hopefully better than PM3, and that should be out in hopefully the summer release, I believe. So I just wanted to give that plug there to be on the lookout because that's going to be a really awesome feature for all you security-minded folks.
Yes, definitely. And summer is coming with some cool features that we will be presenting in these series of live events, of live streams. So next task in here, new hire onboarding, approve the hire plan. Look at this one. What have we done so far? We have sent the information of the new hire. We have provisioning an office. We have requested to provision the systems, and then we are here adjusting and creating the adjustment plan. Right? What you're gonna do the first week, the first month, and review the first week. So going into training 101 and the first month review. Here you need to go for first two simple processes. First quarterly review, I can say first. Um, this is live processing production, right? So this is the development plan we will be adding. Definitely, this is just an example. I'm just gonna click on submit, and then we will finish the process, sending a welcome email and creating a user. And we're gonna have a look on this specific task in a minute. Perfect. Anything you want to say? You want to mention Ethan, I just
Sorry,
hear
I
your
guess
mic.
my audio wasn't working. I was just asking, just to clarify, that what you were just showing, that's like setting up an employee's 30, 60, 90 plan, right?
Exactly, something like that.
Cool.
Pretty basic one, right? So that the idea is to have that capacity for you to gather that information from the managers, so you can finish the onboarding properly, giving all that specific information to your new hire, and knowing where he's going in the first 90 days. So here it is. This is the process. It runs end to end, from the feeling new hire to sending the welcome email. It's everything configured. You can click in here, you can see the different elements, right? You can see here the email variable, you can see here the default email server. We confirmed that everything was working. So let's give it a try to configure this a bit more challenging, right? So for example, one of those elements that I really love on this one is this option that we have in here. How does this configure accounts task works in real life, right? Let me show you guys how works. So 1 second, please. For example, when you have it in here, right, you can, after this one, usually we can add things like this. For example, you can add that sub process, right? So this process, and this is gonna be even cooler the next the next in the next release. With these processes, you can take all that information from the processes and just send it for something that is specific for you to do a specific task, right? For example, in here in this process, what is usually done in the new hire onboarding is creating a process that actually create the user within those platforms, right? So here, this process usually it's create users, right? And something like that. And it goes for a process that execute that specific step, right? So you can add actually task and sub processes in the middle of this in the middle of these templates, right? So this is something that is 100% doable and is very interesting. How you can pick one of those processes? You just choosing here from the list the different processes that are available. So you can create a process to configure or to create the users and configure it in here. Let's have a look on a couple of other elements that are really interesting. Look at this one. Here we have a parallel gateway. How does the parallel how does this parallel gateway works for this process? Look at this one. A parallel gateway is something sorry, a parallel no, this is an inclusive gateway. Sorry for my mistake. This is an inclusive gateway. So how an inclusive gateways works on this flow? You can either go for an office equipment or for a configure account, so for both, right? So that option is configured in here. Each of the branches after the gateway has a section called expression, right? And look at this one. Here I have an expression that it says if I have an office space equal to through, I will go for this route. And in here, pretty much the same as if I have IT accounts. And if you remember, where did we get those values? Where did we get those options? Here in the first screen. So let's open that screen just as well to give you a glimpse on how this is looking, right? Remember the screen we fill out at the very beginning of our session. So this was pretty much the all the information that we captured: the first name, last name, date of birth. Look at this one here. I have the email. Look at this one. Here's the email, right? So I have here my email, and this is the email I captured to send all those previous emails. And look at this one. Here I have the confirm the position requirements. This is the screen we um, discussed at the very beginning, showing the COVID-19 side. And if you look at it, here I have a checkbox, right? This is a checkbox. Here I have it. Here I have it. This is a checkbox similar to this one, but this is configured in the design option as a toggle style, right? So you can have this um, view instead of a square button on something like a toggle button, right? So it's way much more cleaner. How does this work? First of all, look at this one. You need to have a variable name for the variable. So you can reference whether if it's on and off. And this variable, it's linked in many sections of the screens. Look at this one. Here you have in the visibility rule, the office space variable, right? So when it's marked, it's gonna be visible. When it's not marked, it's not gonna be visible. And look at this one, the process pretty much the same, right? So if you click on this, you're gonna have office space, right? So these elements that you configure on the screens as well can be enhanced, or you can add more sections. For example, if you need it here before or additional to the provision of this space and the IT accounts, for example, if you need to provision to for an employee, you need to provision a car or you need to provision a parking lot. So you can add a new section and a new section. And that's pretty much what we will be doing as well. So let's add it in here. Let's add a new section, right? This is a multi-column table just to make it clean. And let's add just simply a checkbox, as we mentioned before. Change it, the design, right? I'm going to say this is the toggle. Look at this one in the variable parking. How is that called? Parking. Yeah, this is parking. This is my variable parking space. And look at this one below each of the each of those titles here in the configuration. You are going to have the helper task. Check this if the employee will require office parking space, right? Here I can add the same element as we did before. This is, sorry, it is, sorry, no, this is not a rich text. This is a text area, right? I'm going to select the text area. I'm going to select parking. This is the variable. I'm going to say this is parking notes. Notes for parking manager. And here I have in the design, in the visibility rule, my visibility rule based on parking, right? What else do I need? Sorry, I just moved this one, parking. That's my variable, parking, right? I'm gonna publish this, publish. Let's preview and look at this one. Here I have a new section, right? And if I want to add that new section in this process, how I can add it? I will pick my processing here. Let me just hide these menus. I'm gonna add a new lane. Perfect. New lane added. Perfect. New lane added in here. I just add two, sorry, too much clicking. Right? Let's save it. Perfect. And let's add a new box in here. Just I'm gonna move this.
I cannot wait personally for the new modeler. It looks so good, and it's gonna make life so much easier.
Yes, definitely. Every day this one is getting better. I really love the way it's working right now with the hand tool in here. It's really amazing. And the way auto align the new modular
I
lines
know, I know, I know.
is just perfect. That's something that it's a huge improvement. Right now you get to work on this. This it's not that complicated at the end. It's just lines and boxes, but definitely having something way much powerful is always handy. So look at this one here. I have just parking polyquin, pretty much the same as IT services, right? Or as the office one, right? So look at this one here. We are expanding our template, right? We are expanding our template to a new task. We're creating a new task. We're creating a new process. We can keep expanding this with the time. So I think we're hitting the hour. Unfortunately, we lost too much time at the very beginning, but this is just a glimpse of the templates and how powerful they are, right? They give you a great seed to start with, and they are going to help you to grow with the complex problems as well, right? You don't need to have to start from scratch. These are great practices proven with customers, and definitely very useful. All those sections and elements that are in these templates, and specifically in this new hire onboarding, has been deliberately put it in there, and we have been carefully decided what is going to be in those examples.
And I just want to
So
also mention next week we have a really exciting demo plan for everybody. So if you're watching this, make sure you tune in next week because we're going to be doing a demo of RPA integration, robotic process automation, where we can. Well, I won't ruin it. I want you guys to come back. So I'm not going to tell you too much about it, other than it's going to be a fully automated process with only the requester's involvement, and it's going to be really cool. So don't miss out next week's. Assuming, yeah.
and we will have a new phase for that, which is amazing. So
That's right. Yeah, thank you. I forgot. JC is going to be the one giving the demo next week. So you're going to get a break from Manuel for a little bit. And we're going to have JC, who I don't think most of you have met yet. And he's going to be the one that's going to be showing it. So better tune in.
Perfect. So thank you very much for everybody to join us today. We will continue next week with another great live session with ProcessMaker and RPA. Thank you very much, Ethan, and have a great long weekend in the
Yeah,
US.
July 4th, everybody. And just, I would be a terrible YouTuber or streamer if I didn't say, please like and subscribe. Feel free to comment any feedback. We love feedback. We always take feedback and always look at comments. So, and also, as Manuel mentioned before, the QR code on the bottom left corner of your screen, that is a link basically to our Discord server. So if you need help or anything ProcessMaker open source related, feel free to scan it and see if someone there can help you. I'm usually hanging around there, and so is Manuel. So yeah, with that, thanks everybody, and have a great 4th of July weekend.